The MCU is an incredibly complicated place full of crazy wonders and spectacle. It's always expanding and something new is always happening. But the Battle of New York just kind of cracked it all open for the whole world to see, that there is a whole nother dimension out there. That aliens could come through a portal and crash into New York.
Peter Parker grew up outside of Manhattan and might have seen from a distance the portal that opened up at the end of Avengers and aliens pour out. He has grown up in this age where these things actually occurred and actually happened.
Things are never going to be the same now.
One of the ways that this movie is connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe is our villain plot.
Our Adrian Toomes character has realized that there's a very good business for him out there, which is to scavenge the scrap heap from all of the destruction that is caused by the Avengers.
What drew me to this version of Spider-Man was the opening scene of Grand Central Terminal being destroyed after this huge battle from the first Avengers movie. And I was like, well, who are the guys who have to clean up that mess? And it was just such a cool aha moment.
These alien bastards are tough. You gotta use the stuff they use.
We're some enterprising individuals, and we decide that we can take the initiative to deal with all of this material and waste matter. And these leftover effects can do great and powerful things.
We've got Dark Elf tech that was left behind when Thor was fighting them in London. We have Chitauri tech left over from the Battle of New York. We've got Iron Man tech. We've got leftover stuff from the opening scene of Civil War. And Toomes is finally going to stop being this small little operation and really expand. But just as they start to get into this...
Thank you for your service. We'll take it from here.
Who the hell are you?
This newly created organization called the Department of Damage Control shows up and shuts them down.
I have a city contract to salvage all this, okay, with the city.
I apologize, Mr. Toomes, but all salvage operations are now under our jurisdiction.
The idea of damage control kind of became an entry point for the villains.
I'm all in on this. I could lose my house.
I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing I can do.
I love that idea. And if we're doubling down on all this weird superhero, dark elf, crazy Hydra tech that exists in broken bits and pieces all over the world, we wanted to use damage control as like the main hub of collecting that stuff.
If you have a grievance, you may take it up with my superiors.
Who the hell are they?
Damage Control is a quasi-governmental organization co-founded by Tony Stark to clean up the sites of these Avengers battles that leave a lot of detritus behind.
So now the assholes who made this mess are getting paid to clean it up.
Yeah, it's all rigged.
Whether it's the Battle of New York or Sokovia, there's some real collateral damage to the Avengers saving the world.
What is this place?
The Damage Control Deep Storage Vault.
It's not this amazing, perfectly managed Nick Fury shield operation. It's a lot more bureaucratic. You know, there's lots of sort of holes where things can fall through. But what's great is that the hornet's nest that we're stirring up with this underground smuggling ring is just sort of the tip of the iceberg of what may be bubbling below the surface.
If you bring damage control or the Avengers down here, we're through.
Which allows us to plant a lot of seeds of what could happen in the future of the series.
Going forward, we're going to have this new expanded view of the universe. We're going to have this new perspective on the MCU. For example, at the end of the film, the Tinkerer is still at large, and of course, he's the guy who actually builds all this stuff. And he could probably come up again in future movies to give our guy a hard time.
But sometimes you kind of forget that there are people at the ground level of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, people going about their daily lives, and somehow this exotic technology falls to the ground. It's going to affect the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in such a huge way.